Something, you about to see something. It's coming, it's coming. We're unstoppable now.
Good evening. We're at the halfway stage of the semi-final of the Betfred World Snooker Championship, and I think it's fair to say that this third session between John Higgins and Dave Gilbert will go a long way to deciding who makes it through to the final. If you missed what happened earlier on between the two when they met in their second session, here's the story of how it played out.
Solid as a rock. What a start he's made. Wonderful break of 125. Oh, he's missed the black.
He's really struggling at the moment.
Dave Gilbert wins the second frame of this session.
This is probably one of the worst sessions he's ever had so far at the Crucible Theatre in all his years of coming here. What a steal this would be. Oh, floated it in so confidently.
That's brilliant. What a shot. Cued it beautifully.
He could not have played that any better. Inch perfect. Right in the heart of the pocket. Just 2 frames in it now.
Has he got it? He's down on it straight away. Is it there? Has it reached? It certainly has. No.
Yes, it's there! He's 10-6 in front, going into the third session this evening.
So Dave Gilbert has a 4-frame lead. I don't think he would have himself expected to be that far in front at this stage.
No, but he is playing very well. He's got confidence, and he's had a little bit of help from his opponent. John Higgins was very poor at the start of the session, managed to salvage something, but he'd be really disappointed he lost the last 2 frames.
We saw a lot of uncharacteristic errors from him. Will he have been on the practice table, do you think?
I don't think John would be practicing. I think he's more go back to his hotel or his apartment and just chill out and try and relax and come out focused tonight.
Absolutely so. Well, Dave Gilbert was wearing his lucky socks. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
No, I don't think so.
But you know, one thing I will say is he just seemed so calm, so relaxed, and the occasion didn't overawe him at all.
No, from the very first session, he's looked at ease here in this arena, as has Gary Wilson, you have to say. Both players haven't been here before. Big session tonight. John Higgins has to win tonight, I think, this session. If he loses at 5-3, 6 frames behind, I don't think he can come back.
So this is actually a very crucial session in the scheme of the semi-final. But we have seen in this game, nothing stays the same, so absolutely anything can happen tonight.
Absolutely. You're never going to write John Higgins off the experience he's got in this arena.
OK, well, Rob Walker is poised and ready to introduce the players. Rob, it's over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night, we're in Sheffield, and this is the climax of our second full day of semi-final action at the Betfred World Snooker Championship. A long bank holiday weekend of live sport starts right here, right now, at the one and only Crucible. Please welcome a player who is clearly loving every single minute of this maiden semi-final. He showed nerves of steel, potting the final pink and black of the morning session for his 4-frame cushion. It's a remarkable run for a man who just a few years ago was off the tour with barely a penny to his name. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tamworth Massive will roar once more for a man who's anything but faithless, Dave Gilbert. His opponent, a player who has already beaten 2 fellow world champions en route to this, his 10th Crucible semi-final. Mentally, this man is hewn from the hardest Scottish granite, and he will be undaunted by the scoreline. 4 times he has gone to the final and lifted the big one. He is the pride of Scotland. He's the Wizard of Wishaw, John Higgins.
Our commentators are all set and ready to talk us through this evening's session. Dennis Taylor and Alan McManus, a very good evening to you.
A very good evening, Seema. Good evening, everyone. And what an atmosphere for this semi-final match and this very, very important session.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Try to settle down now, please. Frame 17. David Gilbert to break.
It's Dave Gilbert's turn to break off.
And please make sure the mobile phones are switched off, please. Pardon? Okay, who was that?
And someone shouted
Did you hear
out at
that?
the referee, which he's not very happy with. So
Right. You're going straight out.
he's trying to locate him
Who
if
was
he
that?
can.
You're going straight out.
I don't know what he said, but anyway, John Higgins is ready to play. Has to go back to his
No.
seat.
Can you please go out?
Well, he's being asked to
Sorry,
leave
John.
the Crucible, whatever he shouted out. Security are locating the gentleman.
No, it wasn't a mobile phone.
And
It wasn't a mobile phone. It was the guy who shouted at me.
It wasn't a mobile phone,
No.
he said. It was someone that shouted at him. So, well, this is not the start the boys were expecting. Anyway, we're back
It
to
wasn't about the
normal.
mobile phone. It was about, it's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. So, anyway,
Thank
John
you.
Higgins
Settle down,
comes to the
please.
table and wasn't the best break-off shot from Dave Gilbert, but what a storyline, Alan, for Dave Gilbert to be leading the 4 times champion here.
He's just been fabulous the whole tournament, David Gilbert there. A huge night in prospect for both players for slightly different reasons.
Well, he was a long way off the pot, but fortunately for John, everything's ran safe. I know you popped in to see John, but them first 4 frames, he did well to win the last round. I've never seen John play so poorly. His safety, everything was just out of sync, Alan.
Yeah, he played some un-John Higgins-like shots, you have to say. Yeah, his safety wasn't up to the normal standard, down at 66% this match. That will improve. The pot success is pretty much even, Stephen.
As I was watching back at the hotel, and as we show you, John just queuing slightly across. It was awkward bridging there, but Dave Gilbert at one stage, I thought he was going to lead 9-3. There was every chance, and I mean, that would have taken a bit of pegging back.
Yeah, that would have been 7 frames in a row. He was on 6 in a row at that point from 3-2 behind. Oh my goodness, that is a complete miss-hit, and has he got away with it?
I think he has at first glance. When he hit that thin, I bet Dave thought, I'm going to put him right in amongst the reds here. But what happened to that shot?
It's funny though, early on in this session, that after those, as the shot again, completely got it wrong. But after those intros, it was spine-tingling stuff as both lads came down the stairs. A lot of the patrons here were on their feet, welcoming the players in. It just takes a few shots to just settle in and calm those nerves.
Yeah. Dave's first time at the one-table situation in the Crucible Theatre, and I'm pleased that both him and Gary Wilson have given a terrific account of themselves. Well, he's left a half chance here for John. Didn't mean to leave them like this. I don't think John's the type of player that's going to change his game. He'll just keep attacking, and he's a very measured player, but if he sees half a chance, he'll go for it. Played it with an element of safety in mind. He was nicely on the yellow there, had he have potted that. But I'm looking at his highest break, Alan. It's 67. That's very unlike John Higgins.
Yeah, and John being the player he is, with the highest breaker, he'll know that. He's not won a frame in one fell swoop yet, and that's what he bases his game around. You've got to win also in these long matches. You've got to win bunches of frames. That's the key to it. When you get momentum, keep a hold of it and ride that wave as long as you can. I mentioned Dave Gilbert winning 6 in the spin that spanned the first 2 sessions. And John's in a bit of trouble here. No reds really near cushions. Difficult to land on one.
I just think he can come off 2 cushions where he's pointing the tip of the cue. If he misses the middle pocket, 2 cushions, and land on the one just to the right of the blank. Might be a little bit narrow, that. You see, he could have put this red on. That is the last thing he wanted to see. Amazing.
One.
So the first chance of this evening session falls to the man from Tamworth.
8.
You're never guaranteed where the cue ball's going to finish when you play that type of shot. Bit of pressure on this black, I can tell you. Yeah, that was tough. Now what has he left?
David Gilbert 9.
Well, the blacks ran safe. Blues up the other end of the table. The reds are perfectly placed, but this was a tough shot. Could have left something easier than this. Checking to see if the pink passes the red into the middle. I don't think so. He may have to go up to the other end of the table here. Just looking at things, it just depends on that pink.
One.
Obviously just passes the red. It must be quite tight though. And where's the pink going to go? Onto the black spot? Well, there's half a pocket there. Nicely played. And he's got the angle to get up onto the pink from here, so it's turning into a decent chance, this.
Eight.
It's one of these breaks, this at present. It's not easy to slip into a nice rhythm. Black out of play, blue in bulk. So every time you play on a red, there's a bit more stress on it. Having to keep land the correct side to get back on the pink, which you can't do off this one. So that's not ideal.
14.
It'd be difficult to either screw it or stun through a little gap. As I say, that's what happens when your options are cut down as they are here.
Yeah, in fact, he looked at the long red up into the corner, but he's going to play for that gap that you mentioned, Alan, but he's got to be very precise. I think if he was cueing really well, he'd take the long one up into the corner. That would be his choice of shot, and I think he's now going to take that. But he should have went straight to this, first of all. You see, he didn't fancy that, because he looked at the one into the middle, and
John Higgins 14.
it puts that little bit of a doubt in your mind, doesn't it, Alan? And then you go back to the shot that you know you should have played straight away. It's worrying times for John here.
He's got to play this with some pace. These are tough. Oh, right in the heart of the pocket. Superb.
That wriggled a few times before it went in the pocket. love to drop on the blue, but it's going to come up a bit short, I think. But of course, the blue back on the spot with that red to the right, you know, it would hamper it slightly, so green it is. Just hit it a little bit hard. All these reds are covering each other into the right corner. Just having a look, but they all seem to be blocking each other. Yeah, all blocking each other there. So one good positional shot here, and he could be right in business. And that's not exactly what he was after there. He's having to head up the table again. That's the sort of thing that can happen when you keep running out of position and making it difficult for yourself. And that's a golden chance that Dave's let slip away there. Just couldn't get in the ideal position.
I wonder how much John will be interested in this red to the extreme left. Yeah, he's interested in it. As long as he doesn't make a cannon on the one to the right of it. It's awkward cueing, yes, and the pot's difficult. The only thing is the extreme right-hand wing ball, that he could leave that one. It's just how he feels. Is it worth playing?
Well, he could be in a spot of bother after the next shot as he goes back to his seat. He knows that he could be snookered when he comes back to the table. And the only thing is, if he tries to screw in behind the brown, the red could hit the yellow on the way back up. I'll have to be aware of that.
Yeah, the important thing here is keep the red in the middle of the table. Don't leave it near a cushion. No, he didn't deliver the cue properly. John might be snooker, but he can certainly swerve for that outside right red there. You see it. It'll be a swerve, just trying to catch it somewhere around full ball, but he doesn't have control over it, so he's going to have to trust to luck in terms of leaving one. The in-off is on to right corner as well. Good shot, very good.
John Higgins' plan of attack this evening would be to win the session at least 5-3. In fact, he would have had 6-2 on his mind to level things up. But I think the man at the table's got his own ideas. Well, there might be a chance to... The two reds near the pink spot, the back one will pot into the right corner, but if he doesn't catch it right, he won't go around the back of the two reds, the left side of the table. He's got to make sure he doesn't cannon into those. Wonderful shot. He did cannon into one of them. And it's a little bit unlucky, I suppose. But they were always in the way of those reds. If he had missed the cannon, he would have been on one of the colours that he's closest to there. But it was a wonderful pot.
And he ain't holding back. This is nasty, this shot. That is not easy at all.
John Higgins 1.
He's trying to make things happen out there, Alan, and that was a high-risk yellow that he took on there.
One.
And he's given Dave a wonderful chance here. The pink will go back on its own spot as we show. He's normally very good at that shot, but he's under a lot of pressure here. 4 behind.
Seven.
Oh, that's bounced a bit fast off the cushion. I think he's just about okay. And there you see it. Another turn of the cue ball there, and he wouldn't have been able to pot this. Yes, he can win this frame with reds and pinks.
14. $15. $21. $22.
I think John's going to have to just have a little change of game plan, because he can't keep taking the tough ones on and leaving a dangerous opponent like this. Because he's been very solid, and you put him in amongst the balls like this, he's going to pot them.
28. $29.
It's difficult for a player like John to change his game slightly, but he's going to have to do something.
$35. $36.
He's got a wonderful flowing cue action, as Dave Gilbert. And watch this, getting on the yellow with minimum effort here. Played to perfection.
44. $47.
I think he's got his lucky socks on
51.
tonight there again, as Dave Gilbert.
$56.
Doesn't matter about the pink. That was a wonderful break of 56. John missed the yellow in the middle pocket. That was his last shot, and Dave Gilbert extends his lead. It's now 11 frames to 6.
Dave Gilbert continuing from where he left off in the second session. Well, we know the winner of these two will play the winner of Judd Trump and Gary Wilson. And here's what happened when the pair met earlier on today. This match between Judd Trump and Gary Wilson resumed at 4 frames each, and it was Wilson who got his nose in front early. But Trump fought back and found his rhythm to reel off breaks of 73 in frame 12. This magnificent 1-2-3 in frame 13. And a 75 in frame 14 with typically flamboyant shots to win 4 frames in a row and open a 3-frame lead. Crucially, Gary Wilson responded with a 77 break to clinch the final frame of the session, and the pair will resume tomorrow morning with Trump leading by 9 frames to 7. Great play from Judd Trump there, but back to what we've just seen, the first frame of the third session, Higgins would have really wanted to win that one, and it didn't go his way.
Yeah, worrying signs for John and his supporters. He's got a chance at a red here, and John playing well. This is well, it's not a gimme, but you expect him to get it. Misses it. Doesn't just miss it, misses it by a long way, which is worrying. The next shot, I think we're going to see. Well, he missed a yellow later on, which is a lot more difficult, but still didn't get close to the pot. He'd have been desperate to win that first frame, and starting to get worrying times now.
Well, let's see if he can win this second frame.
Yes, that yellow that Stephen and Seema are talking about, that the worry is that I thought he played it for the wrong reasons. I thought it's just trying to push the boat out. I mean, you've got to pick and choose your moments in this game. I just didn't think that was the correct time. You know, obviously John knows better than anyone, but you know, sometimes you've got to just hang back and just play the correct shot.
See his touch. I was watching this morning, and his safety shots that he was playing, he was coming up woefully short, and not there just to nestle into the pack. You know, his touch has deserted him at the moment. I think he needs to get in amongst the balls, John, and get an easy chance, just to restore a bit of confidence. But listen, we've seen it do that so many times before. And I think the match with Neil Robertson probably did take a little bit out of John.
Yeah. Foul and a miss.
Amazing.
David Gilbert 6.
It'll go back again. Just a few.
Just checking for the pink here, please, Ollie.
Balls just to be moved slightly. This is a straightforward escape.
Yep.
Olivier Martel from Belgium directing traffic here this evening.
Should be right, yeah. Okay. David.
Oh, that's gone off it. That's worse than the last time. Now, and he's
David Gilbert 6.
Oh, there's a long red up past the blue. He looks absolutely baffled with that third attempt. This is a free shot because he can follow this through, drop on the blue, or if the pink goes, just stop it where the red is, which is what he's doing.
1.
Never ever thought that Dave Gilbert was going to get an advantage from that position. Not as planned, obviously.
Need a moment, please.
Because he forced that, it gave him a wider angle and he didn't cannon the reds as he intended.
Seven.
I can only think he played that with a little bit of side to avoid going into the reds, but I mean, okay, he's got a pot on here, but the black's not available into the left corner. The pink's tied up. Blue's off its spot. As I said, I think John needs an easy chance to restore some of his confidence. Now, if he somehow could get on that red to the left of the black, it could turn into a reasonable chance. So a key shot coming up early on in this frame.
Yeah, it's one of those you almost screw into the right half of the bunch, and if you miss them, you've got that red that Den's talking about. He's played this lovely. Back up for blue or ball colour off this. Can he get just a better angle this time? What's it playing? A choice of green and brown. Well, he's holding this. Oh boy, that was played very nicely, considering it appears how he's feeling. Not top of the world at the minute. That was actually very brave to hold that. Now this has got to be another brave one. He either goes into the meat of the pack or flicks a bit of left-hand side on this.
Well, he did what you said, Alan. He flicked a bit of side on it and still expected him to knock the black in, but he is definitely struggling out there, it has to be said. I think Dave Gilbert suddenly realizes, listen, I've got John Higgins on the ropes here, but he's got to keep potting them because the whole thing can turn around, and he's well aware of that. I mean, these are big moments in Dave's career. Just overcut it slightly.
I don't think John will mind me saying he's not the best in the business with this rest, the extension on it as well. He's got to time this to get out for that red. Has he got enough on it?
I don't think so. Look at that. He's got a lot of margin for error, but as Alan said, he's not comfortable with the rest, and certainly with the extension on, and he had to get a lot of action on that. And this is where he's got to stop pushing the boat out, Alan, and just change his game plan slightly.
Yeah, it's almost like he keeps second guessing himself here. What shot do I play? Now, this is one of these instances where, I mean, the red near the left corner, you could go cushion first and just nestle it onto the black cushion and it would solve it. All right, he'd be pushed into bulk then. But I don't blame him for doing this either, because when you've got no other shot, that's all you can do is just lay the cue ball on this back cushion. That's fine. He's going to be in bulk again himself, but at least he won't be in trouble.
Yeah, it was a better shot than just rolling into the pack, wasn't it, and causing a stalemate.
It may look like he's in a bit of trouble, but I do believe the red down the right cushion, he could thin it, there wouldn't be a double kiss on. Just nestling into the cluster though.
The advantage in this safety exchange is with Dave Gilbert at the moment. That's pretty good there. I don't know if there's a possible 4-ball plant there, just looking at it now. Well, there's not now. I just wondered if the pink and the red were in line for the corner pocket. Oh, it is. It's just that you would squeeze it if he hits the other. You'd need to be able to hit the red direct to get it onto the pink full ball. Well, there's plants both sides by the looks of things. I mean, if this one's on, he can take it as a shot to nothing. Is there a little bit of distance between them so that he can make it? I think there is. But there's a few things can go wrong with this. He's got to find the path back down the table. And he's got to hit that first red a little thin to make the plant. That's why he didn't bother with it. Has he gained the upper hand here with that shot? I think he has. Got to be careful he doesn't knock one near the right corner.
I think he's hoping to just chip the black into play. He's got it all wrong again. Look at this cue ball. In and out of bulk. Just so un-John Higgins-like once again there.
Well, the blue and green are a terrific target now for Dave Gilbert to get in behind. This looks pretty good. Maybe a bit pacey. Yeah, just a slight bit. wanted to block this escape route down the left side of the table. He's letting the referee have a look just in case he tries the shot and misses them completely, so that he knows where to replace it. There's not much of the red sticking out. It's going to be a scrappy frame, but it's going to be a very important frame. Certainly from this man's point of view, he could do with this. Look at that. Who would have thought Dave Gilbert would have been out playing John Higgins in the safety department. Now this is a little awkward here. We're going to do with a touching ball. Think this time he can get back up the table. Now these two reds that Dave's coming around to look at, there may not be a plant, but he's playing a safety shot and the angle is hitting the first red. Highly unlikely he'd make the plant, but he'll get a good cue ball though. Now there is a potential pot, the one to the right of the pink, but he'd have to play it with a lot of screw to avoid cannoning into the other red. If he takes the pot on, he's going to cannon into the red if he plays it plain ball. No, didn't risk it, but yeah, he's okay. Similar type shot, only the pot's a little easier this time, but it's all about finding the gap for the cue ball.
It remains to be seen, but this might not be a bad leave. This is dangerous. But what a super pot. So it was difficult to get on anything. Will he be tempted by the blue?
One.
Having a look at it, it looks like he's made his mind up early.
Very good.
6.
That was a sign of a confident player, and why wouldn't he be confident, leading John Higgins by 11 frames to 6? It's not an easy chance. Look how awkward they're sitting.
7.
Yeah, that's okay. It's come up short of where he intended, but it's fairly comfortable into the corner pocket. There's just a couple more reds available. The one near the left corner pocket, otherwise near the cushion, that's available. And he's got that one next to the pink, so he'll have a decent lead. And I say a decent lead simply because of where the rest of the reds are sitting. He looked at the possibility of a 3-ball plant, red onto the black, onto the red, into the pocket, but it just shows you he's well alert here. He's looked at everything, as Dave Gilbert, fully focused. Has he got enough angle on the blue to power it in and cannon the 4 reds? I don't think so. Got a slight angle, but might be able to play onto the one that I mentioned near the corner pocket and on the cushion. He's coming over if he's got the side on it. And this is a key shot. If he can pot this and get on the blue, he could then cannon the 4 reds. Not put it on the near cushion. So
David Gilbert, 25.
He's only 35 in front. I can't, John Higgins, get the angle on the colour to bring those 4 reds into play.
Yeah, he actually made the pot more difficult by stunning that. It's a wee bit easier topping it. Anyway, going now. John looking for top side of blue. Has he made it?
1.
Needs to keep going. You know, I think he can power this in and cannon those reds. He could bring them all into play here. Oh, you're kidding.
John Higgins 1, David Gilbert 5.
When you struggle out there, it's amazing the run of the ball you can get. Who could envisage this happening? Only good side is he hasn't left anything.
I think if John was thinking clearly, the red that's on the cushion, play it full in the face with pace. Get the cue ball back in bulk, just playing the containing safety. Doesn't want to give 4 away. The scoreboard is. Good shot.
A little thin one could take him up behind the green and brown here. And it's going to catch the green. I think he's got the pace of the table here. Can't quite play the same shot as he did previously because he could develop a red here, so needs to be just a little bit careful. It was one of those, if you happened to pot it, it would be a bonus, but it was all about the safety shot. Yeah, it's going to take a while to resolve this, the way the balls are situated. Can he pot this and avoid the cannon? No, played the safety shot, but it's a poor one. He's put him right in here. Not an easy chance, though. John knows there's a lot of awkward balls here.
One. David Gilbert, one.
Well, we will have to leave you there, I'm afraid. But if you'd like to see how this session plays out, you can continue to watch on the red button and online. Thank you very much for your company this evening. Rob Walker will be back with the highlights from today. So if you have missed anything at all, he will bring you fully up to speed. That's at 11:05 tonight. Well, that's it from Stephen and I. Thank you so much for joining us, and our snooker coverage continues over the weekend. Good night.